Good evening. Yes, I'm coming in at a different time, a different day. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. And you guys, I'm almost on time. That could be scary. Welcome in. Welcome in. I want to tell you something before I get started. Welcome in. Welcome in. Come in. As you're coming in, please um, tap the screen. You know, my goal is 20,000. And if you all consistently tap, it keeps me from having to do the puzzle thing also. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Um, don't forget to get your daily heart maze. Don't forget to get your daily heart maze and all of your points. And if you would, please, is down at the bottom of your phone or your screen, there's a little arrow that goes to the right. Would you please share this out to that? Click on that little arrow and then add it to your stories. Add it to your stories, and it gets it out much faster than you having to click. If you would do that for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you. As you all are coming in, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I wanted to share something with you all as you're coming in. And I'm going to wait till a few more people come in. But as you're coming in, tap the screen for me, please. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And welcome in. And welcome in. You know, I need to block my lipstick. But as you're coming in, if you would, tap the screen. I've got quite a bit of information to share with you all. But I also wanted to share something with you. For those of you that were with me on Wednesday last week, you know that the live was abruptly shut down. Well, my page was suspended. You all have never seen Miss Donna cry so hard. I've never broke the rules, and had no idea why they suspended my page. And I didn't at that time have a backup page. So I cried. And the more I cried, the more my stuttering got worse. And I appealed it. And I was looking at it, and it said appeal submitted, reviewed, and denied while I was watching in the midst of it. Oh, I had violated community guidelines, and I thought, what could I have said? We were doing boundaries, standards, and preferences. What in the world could I have said that would have caused them to suspend my page? And it would have been suspended from that Wednesday until Friday, the 17th at 10:30 p.m. You all have no idea. So I finally got myself together on Thursday, and I appealed it again. And I went to the section in your profile. You can go to security and privacy, and all the way down at the bottom, you can go to report. And then I forgot exactly what I clicked on, but it says contact agent. And I pleaded my case at 3, right? At 7:18 that night on Thursday, they restored my page by Wednesday morning, I don't think that I did my prayer time, which is at 2 o'clock. I was completely out of kilter, completely, because I couldn't think of what I could have said. So they restored my page, but they didn't restore the content. And I had promised you guys that on standards, boundaries, and preference, that I would upload it on my YouTube page. So today, it was raining and everything, and I said, no, that's okay. I'm not going to do it again. But it was a part of my assignment. And do you all know that when God gives you an assignment, we have to be obedient to it? So I was going to work around it. I was not going to come back to you guys and say my page was suspended, but I hadn't done anything. So here I am. And we're going to go over again so that I can have something to put up on my YouTube page. And I thought it would just be wonderful to have you all join me again as we go through standards, boundaries, and preferences to help us not only in our dating, but also in any relationship, whether it's at the office or in your marriage or wherever. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. And if you all would continue to tap the screen for me, please, I would appreciate it in this little. And I probably will go over an hour. I don't intend to, but I have some good information for you. Remember that we have magnificent moderators. And they understand that I don't ever want you all blocked. But I do want you to be mindful of the things that you say in the chat, because you're saying it to someone else, and I don't want you to be offensive to anyone, not me or anyone in the chat. But should you get carried away and not mindful, they will mute you. They will take away your abilities to comment in the chat, and that's not what we want. So, with all of that being said, and I've got quite a bit, and you know what I thought about when I was looking back over what I had given you all before, is that Dr. Dharius Daniels, have you all ever listened to him? Dr. Dharius Daniels, he has, his church is in Atlanta, and I think he has 2 campuses. But nevertheless, he calls the Bible the life book. He calls it the life book. And so when I was looking back over this, I said maybe it would help them to understand that this is not Miss Donna in total, that Leroy gave us. I call God Leroy. That's my pet name for him. He gave us a guide way before any of these coaches came along, way before me or anyone else. He gave us the life book. And so when I went back through, I've got some good scripture to show you that standards, boundaries, and preferences are in the life book. And that's what we're governing ourselves with. How does it guide us to be a better person in our dating, in our marriage, in whatever the relationship is? How do we do it better? So if you all are continue to tap, Listen, I was a bedside Baptist. B-E-D, side Baptist. It poured down rain in here. I mean, the heavens opened up. I said, mm-mm. But I did go to church. I streamed it live. Okay, I did go to church. But can you tell I didn't do anything to my hair? Anyway, let's get started. Let's get started. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Radio. So, has your page been suspended before? Oh, that hurt my heart, Mr. Radio. That hurt my heart. And I didn't even know what I had done. It said violated community guidelines. And I thought, and what I gave, where was it? When was it? It was most upsetting. And then when I get upset, my speech impediment shows up right at the front door. And it was an ugly sight. But anyway, the subject matter for tonight is, as it was Wednesday, but I got some additives for you. Standards, boundaries, and preferences. Standard, boundaries, and preferences. Now, these three concepts often get mixed up. And, Scripture says in all of our getting, Shaq, I see you. How are you? Welcome in. In all of our getting, get understanding. So let's talk about that. What does it look like? What does standards, because they all serve a different purpose in relationships, whether that's dating, marriage, they serve a purpose, okay? So let's look at it. Standards. And you will forgive my allergies, please, please, please. Standards. These are non-negotiables about how you deserve to be treated and what you need in a partner for a healthy relationship. They are about character and core values. Character and core values. So, what does the Life Book say? What does the Bible say? And I found this. Listen, I went back and did my homework. In the Life Book, and if someone could pin it down in the chat so that you all can go back and look at it, and it's not me. It was way before me. Romans 12:2, and I'm reading from the Amplified Translation. It says, and do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourself what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in His plan and purpose for you. See, God has a purpose for all of us. Can you hear me? Do I need to? I don't know. Did I adjust my volume? Can you hear me now? Is that better? Will you put a 1 in the chat if that's better for you? Please. Excuse me for just a second. Okay. So God has a plan for each and every one of us. So it says, do not be conformed. So don't be squeezed into the world's mold. Don't be squeezed into the world's mold. It's about resisting external pressures to adopt worldly values, priorities, and thinking patterns. That's what it said up there. Do not conform. Then it says, be transformed. So, what does that look like? Suggesting deep internal change, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. Being transformed, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. This is passive voice. Passive, meaning God does the transforming. He does the transforming. Okay. Then it says renewing of your mind. This is the mechanism of transformation. This is the mechanism of transformation. It's ongoing. So that's a present tense involving how we think, what we dwell on, and whose truth we believe. Now that's what the Life Book says. That's Romans 12:2. The result is discernment to know God's will in specific situations, not just general principles. So, for me, what does standards look like? And I'm just going to talk, I'm going to give you my list of what, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Of what my list. And you should, before you even think about dating, before you even think about going out on a date, these things should be written and in your heart, in your mind, that you don't even have to think about it. Not part of my standards. Not a part of my boundaries. You should have them written down and logged in, stamped on your brain that this is not, okay? So for me, my standards, which this is just my list, is that he must treat me with respect and kindness. Notice I said he must. Thank you so very much. You all are so kind. You all are so kind. He must treat me with respect. I'm sorry for the delay. He must treat me with respect and kindness. He needs to be emotionally available and communicate openly. The reason why I say must and needs is because I am me, Lady DJ, is going to reciprocate. He must treat me with respect and kindness because I am going to treat him with respect and kindness. I am going to be emotionally available for him, and I am going to communicate openly. I need him to be honest and trustworthy because I'm going to give it back to him. These are things that I need. Now, at my age, I'm not, when I say we must have similar life goals, well, at my age, I'm not worried about having kids or no kids. We're beyond that. But where to live, etc. But having similar life goals, that's important. He should be, as I, financially responsible, not necessarily wealthy, but mature about his finances, Thank you. Paula, thank you. And he needs to respect my time and commitments. So, because we are dating, he can't have every day and twice on Sunday. respect my time because he has not DTR. He has not defined the relationship. So he doesn't get all of my time. I'm going to protect that until I know the rest of the story. On to the next one is boundaries. Boundaries. These are limits you set to protect your well-being and define what behavior you will or will not accept. They are about your actions in response to others. Boundaries. These are limits you set to protect your well-being and define what behavior you will or will not accept. And they are about your actions in response to others. The Life book, it speaks on this as well. And I have two scriptures that it speaks on. Please hear me. Proverbs 22:3. Proverbs 22:3. It says, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precaution. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. If I may break that down for you, if I may. It says a prudent person foresees danger. Foresees danger, not paranoid, but perceptive. Perceptive. They recognize warning signs, red flags, and potential consequences. That's what the Bible's talking about. That's not Miss Donna. So I'm just in alignment with what's already been said, because the Life book is our guide. It's our guide. It says takes precaution. So they take protective action. So how do I take? I've got to put a boundary up, and I say you can't come any further. No. This is being proactive, not reactive. And that's the reason why Miss Lady DJ, I almost said my government name, but this is the reason why I say that you have these in place before you go out there amongst the woolly bullies, because they're out there. And it says simpleton. Now, it's not talking about your intellectual deficiencies, but there are those that are naive and gullible and lacking discernment. They ignore the warnings because they're so desperate to be in a relationship that they cast all caution to the wind. And lastly, it says, suffers the consequences. So that's natural consequences. Follows foolish choices. Follows foolish choices. So you are intimate with someone on the first date and they ghost you thereafter. You knew nothing of this person. You made a foolish decision and you suffered the consequences. And the second one is Proverbs 4:23. And I'm going to read this one from the New Living Translation. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Guard your heart. That's what a boundary does. It guards you. It keeps those things out. We have boundaries. We have boundaries, not walls. We don't put up a wall because not only does a wall keep bad things from getting in, but the bad things in you that you need to let out, there's no exit. So you need to have a wall with a gate. I like to say it that way, a wall with a gate. So what does it look like? It says above all else. This is the priority command, above all else. And some translations say with all vigilance, or more than anything, you guard. You guard. Okay? And so now we talk about the word guard. You guard. That's a military term, right? That's a military term, meaning to watch over, to protect, to preserve. Think of it as a fortress to guard who is alert and intentional. That's what that boundary is, not getting to your heart. Your heart, it's the center of your entire inner life, mind, will, emotions, desires, character. It is the control center. Your heart is the inner life center. Your mind, your will, your emotions, your desires, your character. It is the control center. And you don't protect it, it can shut your whole system down. Yeah. And then, last but not least, it says everything you do flows from it. Everything you do flows from it. Literally, the issues of life, right? Your heart determines your direction. It determines your decisions, your relationships, and your destiny. And your destiny. So, bottom line, you are responsible for what you allow into your heart and your mind. Stop it. You're responsible. You are responsible. And now, as I go through this, you can understand why I say, before you decide to go out there into the dating world, navigating through the woolly bullies, these things need to be established in your head and in your heart, because you are responsible for what you allow into your heart and mind. This means being intentional about relationships, being intentional about media, environments, thought patterns, and influences. Because if your heart is compromised, everything else downstream is affected. Does that make sense to you? I hope so. And I hope if I'm going too fast for you, because I'm trying to be mindful of your time, I will be putting this up on my YouTube page. Paula, if you would please, you, me, and Tea, with Lady D. That is my YouTube page. You, me, and Tea, with Lady D, not DJ, Lady D. This will be uploaded, as well as the series that I did on PNC. So I'm going to take just a short break while you all power tap. I'm going to have a little bit of my Arnold Palmer. You have some of your tea. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. And we're not that far from 10. We're going to make it, you guys. I know we're going to make it. We're going to make it. So if we power tap Can we get to 10 before I start again? So I've got some more. I have some more good information for you. So this is foundational. The scripture that I've given you, these that I've gone through, they are foundational for boundary settings. For boundary settings, wisdom means recognizing when something or someone is harmful. Thank you, B. Thank you, and welcome in. It's harmful, and taking action to protect yourself. It's not unloving to avoid danger. It's wise. It's wise stewardship of the life God gave you. It's wise. So what do my boundaries look like? We're just talking about mine. And you might want one of mine to be yours. But my boundaries is I won't continue dating anyone who yells at me. Not anyone during a disagreement. Because see, I think that your tone and your tenor and the depth of what it is that you're saying matters. If you yell at me, because these are my boundaries, I shut down. I no longer hear you. I don't share passwords or check my partner's phone. I wish he would check my phone. We're just talking about dating. I don't understand it, and I'm not going to claim I'm too old to understand it, but this is a boundary for me. I'm not going to share my password, and I'm not going to check his phone, because back up there, one of my standards, remember, was that I wanted him to be what? Honest and trustworthy. And I always remember that whatever is done in the dark will come to the light. So I don't need to see your phone. I need alone time. You know, they always think that men need that alone time. Lady DJ needs her alone time. Because sometimes it's the white noise and everything, social media, all of these things. I need to disconnect and just detox. Quietness. I need to find my peace. I need that quiet time so I can hear and I can make wise decisions. And maybe I don't need to make a decision at all. I just need to be still and know that whatever it is, He is God and He's got it. And He's got me. I just need some quiet time. And so I will not apologize for that either. I'm not going to apologize for saying I need some quiet time. If I say it, yeah, I'm not going to explain it. I just need some quiet time. Yes, to regroup. Absolutely. I will not me tolerate being pressured about physical intimacy. I don't. I know what I want, and I'll know it when I'll know it. So, and that's how I always feel about it, and I know it could probably sound, but if I don't give you a sign, if I don't give you a sign I need you to stand down if I don't give you a sign. Oh, we almost at that 10. Come on, you guys. You all are doing it for me tonight. I will leave a conversation. If it becomes disrespectful, I will leave a conversation. Either I will excuse myself or I'm just sitting there, but Elvis has indeed left the building. I promise you that. And I don't stay in a relationship. Ooh, wait. I do not stay in a relationship where I am doing all of the emotional lifting. No. No, no, no. Next is preference. Preference. Now, these are your likes and wants, things that make someone more attractive to you, but they are not really deal breakers. Your standards are your non-negotiables. Your standards are your non-negotiables. What is emotional lifting? Everything is wrong, William. When this is wrong, I don't know how I'm going to do this, and I've got to talk you through it. I've got things going on, and I have to talk you through it. I'm going to be emotionally available to you. But let's do this together. If I'm the one that's going to have to always get you out of bed because you have gone into the confines of being so very depressed that you have taken up, like motivational speaking. If I'm going to do that and I see that and there are signs, maybe I can help you by suggesting seeing a therapist. Because it is not my job, and we're just starting out dating, to be your therapist. I am just we're just dating. We have not defined the relationship. And so if I start to do all of the emotional lifting, and I know those persons that know me have heard me tell the story, William, about the snake that was on the side of the road. And please listen with me. It was on the side of the road. It was cold. It was dying. And this lady came along and she brought the snake in the house. And she placed the snake before the fire. And she nursed that snake back to life. Okay? You with me? You still with me? And when she brought the snake back to life, the snake bit her. And she said, "How could you do this? I've been here for you. I nursed you back to life. I've done this and I've done that and I've done that. How could you bite me?" And the snake said, "You knew I was a snake when you brought me in." The ownership is on you. So now, when they get their sea legs and you've been there for them emotionally and you've done all of the heavy lifting and they've gotten their sea legs back, they no longer need you and they're off to someone else. How do you feel? It's not a good feeling. So, as I was saying, preference. These are like your wants, your likes and wants. Things that make someone more attractive to you, but they are not deal breakers. They are not deal breakers. They are flexible and about compatibility. It's not so much betrayal, William, because you allowed this. And that's the reason why I said to suggest that this person seek a therapist, that's your ownership. But if you continue to do the heavy lifting, then it's on you. Because that's not our job. That's not our job. It's not. Hey Marvin, how are you? So, what does this look like in the life book? 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, and this is the New Living Translation, it says, you say, I am allowed to do anything, but everything is not good for you. You say, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. So, what are we saying? I have the right. I have the right, right? Literally, it is lawful and permissible. But Paul was quoting, was acknowledging genuine Christian freedoms. Paul was, okay? But not everything is beneficial, meaning not everything is profitable and advantageous, helpful. Just because something isn't sinful doesn't mean it's good for you. Freedom requires discernment. Not everything is constructive, builds up. The question isn't, can I? But does this build up my faith, character, relationship, and witness? Does it? Thank you. Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you. Thank you. So, there's two tests. The personal benefit. Does this help or hinder my spiritual growth, health, relationships, or my calling? Does it? Or a corporate edification. Does it build up others or potentially harm them? We have to have these conversations with ourselves. We must have these conversations with ourselves. So ask better questions when it comes to preferences. Not just, is this allowed, but is it wise? Is it wise? Does this help me become more like Christ? Could this hurt someone else? Sometimes the most matured use is choosing not to exercise, is choosing not to exercise it for the sake of others, for the sake of others. Personal conviction. Personal conviction. What's beneficial for one person may not be for another person. Temperament, past experience, current struggles. You all that know me, I am abstinent. It's my choice. It's what's good for me. It may not be good for you. But I'll know when that right person comes along that I will want to avail myself to. I will know. It's irrelevant. Who is that? Juanita, how old am I? 16. I am 71. Yeah. Social media use might be permissible. Social media use might be permissible, but not beneficial if it fuels comparison, anxiety, or time wasted. time wasted. Certain relationships might be allowed, but not constructive if they consistently pull you away from God. If they consistently pull you away from God. Thank you so much. Entertainment choices that are technically fine might not build you up spiritually. Technically fine. So, the key difference, standards and boundaries, they protect your well-being. Standards and boundaries protect your well-being. Preference enhances compatibility, but can be compromised on. See, I don't need to have a 6'4" or 6'6" or 6'7". I don't need to have that. That's a preference that a 5'9" or 5'10" or 5'11" would not do. He doesn't have to have a six-pack. A nice... I'm sorry, I was getting ready to check out. He doesn't have to have that. These are preferences. If he meets all of the other qualifications that's on your list, and he's not 6 feet tall and doesn't have a six-pack and he doesn't have six figures, is that really you're really gonna cast it to the wind and then sit and talk about, I'm waiting for God to bring me my man? Well, that's not gonna happen. He brings you, someone passes your path all the time, and maybe your preferences are so rigid that you're missing out on really good connections. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe. So, we got to 13. Let's take a taste of our tea. And we're going to talk about next is, when do we address standards, boundaries, and preferences? Do we just pull up on me? Do we just pull up and start talking about, well, these are my standards and these are my boundaries and this is what I prefer? Is that what we do? No. So get you some tea or whatever your beverage is, and let's power tap and see if we can't get to 20. We got, as my dear friend D.B. Wright would say, a red rose would say, we've got 75 persons in here and we only have 13,000 likes. Let's get the fingers to working. Let's get them to work. Have some tea and tap the screen, power tap, and then we're going to go into when and how to address standards, boundaries, and preferences. And as long as you all are tapping, I don't have to look for that puzzle. So please, if you would, for me, tap that screen for me. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, write them down, because once I go through this, I am going to open up the boxes. Thank you, J-Vibe. Thank you, J-Vibe. Thank you. I'm going to open up the boxes and you can join me on the panel if you have any questions. Prayerfully, I can answer your questions. If not, I promise to get back with you on Tuesday. Or you can write them down in the chat, because when this is all over with, I go back through the comments. And I look for questions. And if you have a question in the comments, I will answer you in your DM if it's open or if you accept it. So let's get there. Let's get to 20. please. I appreciate you. Paula, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of Thank you for all of the gifting. I so appreciate it. I really do. I certainly do. See, are we getting there? Okay, so you ready? The next leg, we're doing good on time. When and how to address standards, boundaries, and preferences. Well, like I said, you don't just sit down with someone and start to list them out, but they naturally reveal themselves through the process. They naturally reveal themselves through the process. Your actions and choices, who you continue dating, who you don't, organic conversations discussing values, life goals, what matters to you, convey your standards. They convey your standards without you being preachy. I don't need to do all of that. Because, why? Because a date, and hear me, a date does not constitute a relationship. A date is, I know you all say all the time, I'm collecting data, but you really collect nothing, because you sit before that person and you say, well, I want this and this and this, and he's got to do this and this and this, or she needs to do this and this, and then they clone themselves to what you say until they get what they want, and then their history, deuces, they're out. Sometimes, more often than not, we talk too much and we don't listen. We don't listen. We're talking to refute. We're not listening, intentionally listening. The only thing that me, and I think that I successfully date, I am successfully entertained by gentlemen. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Is that the first thing before I accept a date is, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Is someone in a relationship that you didn't know you were in a relationship with them? You know what I'm talking about. Here on TikTok, there are so many persons in their minds, they're in a relationship with a person that didn't even know that they were in a relationship with them. And have you seen it? Have you seen it? They do mean and evil things because in their head, they've decided he is the one, and he didn't know it. Mm-hmm. So it is conveyed in your just natural talk. Asking questions in the first few dates about things that matter to you. The first few dates for basic compatibility stuff. Stuff like life goals, values. The deeper standards emerge naturally over weeks and months as you get to know each other. They emerge. Yeah. I'm just talking about me, right? I have standards, Instead of saying I have standards that partners must be ambitious. What the dickens does that sound like? If he doesn't get up and leave you right then, I guarantee you he's not coming back. How about What are you working toward in your career? And see if that answer aligns with what you need. That sounds softer and gentler. I think we need to find our softer, gentler conversation. I really do. Boundaries. You communicate these when they become relevant. You communicate these when they become relevant, not as a preventive lecture. Not as a preventive lecture. Mm-mm. So, when something happens that crosses the line, you can say, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with that." Mhm. You don't have to go into okay, but you can just say, "I'm not comfortable with that." Mhm. When patterns emerge, you can say, "I've noticed." Remember when we talked about it before? We want to use I statements, right? I statements, because you statements are accusatory. We don't want to do that. We want to use I statements. I've noticed you always do what you want to do. I need us to take turns choosing. And with an I statement, it gives that person the opportunity to clarify. It gives that person the opportunity to clarify and say, well, that's not what I intended. And now we can talk about it in a mature way, not getting in our feelings, because I didn't accuse you and you want to clarify what's been happening. And now we have communication. What? Openly. Mm-hmm. Before situations where you know your boundaries. Just so you know, I'm not ready to meet your family yet. I'm not ready. Because I don't really know how I feel about you. So it's too much too soon. Too much too soon. We haven't gotten to know each other yet. It's too soon. So for me, I'm not ready to meet your family yet. And you can say that with a softer, kinder voice. You can. You can. Mhm. You don't say on date one, I have boundaries about yelling. You know, that's my boundary, right? I have boundaries about yelling. But if someone raises their voice at me, then I say, I don't accept being spoken to like that. And see, I'm not screaming at him, pushing him away. I'm saying it so he has to lean in and hear what I'm saying. I don't accept being spoken to in such a manner. Mhm. And when I say it, I'm ready to walk, okay? I'm ready to call a cab or Uber or whatever it is, because I'm not gonna sit there and what? Disrespect me. Was that one of my standards and my boundaries? You're not gonna disrespect me, right? Kind. Yeah. Preference. Honesty. You mostly don't talk about these explicitly. You don't talk about your preferences. You don't say to a 5'10" man, really, I've never dated a short man before. How insensitive. You just see if they are or not. Listing your preferences can also not only make you sound insensitive, but shallow and demanding. I'm not going to the Cheesecake Factory. I am not going to do. I'm not going to go have coffee or go walk in the park. I need to go to a 5-star restaurant. Well, then take yourself with a smile and the softness of how I say that. Plus, sometimes amazing people don't match your type and you miss out. It's fine to mention preferences naturally in conversations, like my preference. I love hiking, or I like to play pickleball. Have you ever? Because I love sports. To see if we have what? Similar interests. So it's just casually throwing it out there just to see if we have similar interests. If I want to have another encounter with you, if I want to have another date with you, if you want to have another date with me, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. So the bottom line is, oh, I can't have, so yeah, the bottom line is standards. Screen for them through questions and observation. Standards. Screen for them through questions and observation. Boundaries. State them clearly when needed. When needed. Enforce them consistently. So, in order for you to enforce them consistently, you have to know what they are. I got to do the puzzle. Okay. So, in order for you to, we made it. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. In order for you to enforce them consistently, now we're back to my original statement, which was you're not ready to go out into the dating out there in the dating wild without these in place first, because you can't enforce them consistently because you don't have any. You don't even know what they are. I need you to know what they are before you go out there. And preferences. Notice them, but stay open-minded. Notice them, but stay open-minded. The healthiest approach is being clear about what you need, that's your standards and your boundaries, while staying flexible about what you want, that's your preference. You are getting to know someone and not conducting a job interview. Now, if there are any questions, and we made it through, they didn't take my page away again. Are there any questions? If you want to send an invite, and if you come up, we'll stay on topic, please, which is standards, boundaries, and preferences. We'll stay on topic. Are there any questions? Paula, will you come up and join me? Thank you so much, Paula, for helping me tonight. Thank you. Is there anyone? Is there anyone that would like to come up and has any questions at all? If not, I thank you all so much. Like I said, if you don't want to come up, you can put your questions down in the chat. And I indeed go back through the comments one by one, good, bad, or indifferent. And I will check the comments. I will answer you in your DMs. But tonight, in the morning, I will upload first date, what should I wear? I will answer you. Okay, no, I'm going to answer you where everyone can hear me. Because I'm going to ask the question because I don't know. Just, are you a lady or a gentleman? To whom am I speaking? I'm waiting for your answer. I think on the first date, in conversation, because can I tell you all my how I do this? And it's been successful for me. I don't like to text. It makes my teeth itch to text, okay? Because in texting, you can't hear the inferences in what is being said, okay? And I don't want to have to use my Urban Dictionary to understand what these acronyms are. If you are approaching me and you have to do HRU, oh, that's such a turnoff. Why can you not give me a full sentence? So, to save you, I am going to text maybe once or twice with you, and then I'm going to say, I really don't like texting, and this is my number. And this is my number. Now, I don't call men. Now, if they're my dearest friend, that's one thing. But someone that I'm dating, I don't call them. And he has a day to use that number. If not, then I'm going to block him. That's what Miss Donna does. And if he should call, then we're going to have maybe 3 or 4 conversations and not more than 45 minutes at a time. We're not going to do hours and hours and hours on the phone. No, ma'am. If you are interested, you will call again. If you are interested, you will text me and ask if I'm available to receive your call. We teach people how we want to be dated, and if this is too much for you, you move on, and there's nothing lost. There's nothing lost. And so after we've chatted a few times, then I need us to video chat each other, because I need to see and make sure that you're not catfishing me. What I noticed on some of the dating apps, they put a younger picture up at the top, and by the time you scroll down, you're looking at someone that looks like Rip Van Winkle, because that's the person he is right now. So, no, I need to see. You all probably don't know who Rip Van Winkle is, but anyway, I need to see who you are. I need to be able to look you in your face. Are you able to keep eye contact with me? Are you looking off somewhere else? Are you can you carry on a conversation? What are your social skills like? I need to know that. And then, if I am asked out, then I say, is it casual? What is the dress? Where are we going? And he can tell me. If he tells me casual, I'm going to probably wear just because I am who I am, I'm never going to have my groceries hanging out, okay? Because my mindset is, if he thinks I'm the one, surely he's not going to want everybody to see what is supposed to be his. Surely he's not. Then I think that that's something that you need to work on. You need to work on. I would not, if you don't have good social skills or holding conversation, it's something that's easy. It's something that's easy. You have a friend that you can talk to or chat with. Those things, I think that, I don't want to say that you're saying this, but you do. But there are persons that you can talk with and chat with. Because I don't want to constantly hear you breathing on the phone. I need you to tell me something. And I don't want you, well, where are you from and what do you do? How many children? No, I'm answering your questions. I need to hear from you. So for me, I'm going to eat the chicken wings while you talk to me. But if the attire is casual, I probably am going to wear something cute, keeping in mind not to be trying to, and never ever, please, what I'm getting ready to say is I'm a plus size woman, and this I know, but I'm going to dress appropriately. So I'm not going to try to put Texas, that's me, in Maine. I'm not going to do that. And if I go out like that, then I can say I truly don't have friends that would allow me to go out in such a manner. If he is going to, so we can do business casual, a nice pair of dress pants or a nice skirt and top, business casual. That's for me. I don't want anything that I wear on a first date that says, hey, you could, if you act right. I don't want to ever look like my blood type is whole positive, if you know what I mean. I don't ever want that to happen. So, and the reason why I say that, how you present yourself weighs, I did say that. I don't ever want, I don't ever want how I'm presenting says that my blood type is O positive. I don't ever want that to be. I want to present respectfully. Yes. Because if I don't respect me, I cannot demand respect. So that's really important. For me, this is for me. This is me talking about me. If I'm asked out, I like it to be, for me, I like it to be somewhere fun, so that and where it's just us and we can see each other. So coffee for me is good. In the summertime, take me to Sonic's and sit outside and let's get a foot-long chili dog with kraut and chili and all of that googoppy stuff on top, and one huge strawberry slushie with extra strawberries. Don't ever lose the child within you. Do you remember how it was when you had your first date? Don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that. Can you take yourself to a 5-star restaurant? If you can, why is it that you feel the need for him to spend $300 or more on a first date? We still got to live. We still have to live. Are you thinking that your value is so much so that he should want to spend those kinds of dollars on you? Really? Well, he's special also. So why not? You may not want to go out with him again. Why not be considerate? Remember how I was talking at the beginning? Respect and kindness. So for me, if I'm asked out and I say, well, where are we going? What's the attire? He says, well, where would you like to go? And I said, oh, I don't know, somewhere fun. Oh, like Brewster's ice cream, and get the waffle cone with butter pecan ice cream. Okay. That's fun. And we can sit and talk and enjoy the moment. But we make it such a ritual that you've got to take me to a 5-star restaurant and you don't even know how to use all of the knives and forks that's on the table. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? So, enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. And also, for me, it's my way of determining whether or not he is a gentleman. I say, he asked me out. I said, you want to go Dutch? Yeah, I offer, do you want to go Dutch? Because if he is the gentleman that I think he is, he would refuse it. And if he accepts it, we're gonna do just that. But that'll be the last date. Do you understand what I'm saying? A gentleman would refuse it. But the lady in me, if he refuses it, then before the week is out, I'm going to text him, are you available to talk? If he says yes, I'm going to invite him out to dinner. What is that? That is reciprocity. It's not all about me. He, too, is a gift. I'm going to invite him. And I'm going to say, it's on me, tip included. Yeah, I'm going to take him out to dinner. And I will have chosen a place because I want him to choose a place. I'm going to choose a place that is for my pocketbook. And then we can go from there. That's what it looks like for Miss Donna. That's how I do it. And they come back. And I casually date. I do. And some people can't. And what did I say? That's on each individual. What you do. What I do may not be conducive for you. And that's okay. But it's been successful for me. And I just thought I'd share. Just, I hope I answered your question. And again, we're just talking about me. Are there any other questions? Yes? Thank you. Yes, I have. For 23 years. Yes, I have. And, fine wine. I was married at 19. And I was married for 23 years. And then I'm single again. Now for 28 years. But before I got to this place where I am now, where I am absolutely happy, I sat down. I sat down because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was. I needed to know who I was. I didn't know what the dating atmosphere was. I had never dated. The person that I dated, I was married to him for 23 years. Things have changed. I needed to close some doors. I needed to bring some closure to things that had happened because I was not ready to date. So we have to learn who we are, okay? Because if we don't know who we are, then, and we've got past traumas, then we will lug that luggage right into a new relationship, and we will bleed on someone that did no harm to us because we have not processed not just that past relationship, but all of them, because we didn't learn anything, and we started to attract, accept, or choose that which is familiar, because we have not stopped long enough to get an understanding of who we are. And sometimes it goes back beyond